This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you here on a Wednesday. We're live in Vegas, Circa Resort, a casino, loaded 3-hour program coming up today. Reaction to last night's Pauly's favorite thing in the world. The debut of the 2025 committee show with the rankings in college football. A really fun NBA card tonight to dissect. Bets on that galore. Player props coming up here in about 15 minutes. Jeff Sherman on the program from the Westgate. Sal Palantonio, Mike Palm, Matt Humans as well. Plus we have look-ahead lines till week 11 in the National Football League. So I guess this is the way it's going to be, right, moving forward until they maybe tinker with conferences, if they actually ever change them again, which I don't think they're going to. This is the way of the world now in college football. But the way it looks, Pauly, now, it begins Big Ten, then goes 4 straight SEC before you get anybody else. Mm-hmm. And those two conferences are going to dominate the landscape here of the 12 teams that make the playoff for the foreseeable future. Am I wrong?
I think you might be right. I know, that's tough. But these other conferences have to get their act together as well. But certainly it's a TV show and not a true playoff, and seems more of an invitational. But there was some egregious mistakes last night. I watched to get pissed off and also see the nonsense that Booger and others are going to spew and some crazy questions that they're going to ask. But again, there's no consistency, and they play the brand name bias game 95% of the time, except when it comes to Miami.
True.
Which doesn't make any sense. Miami is great for college football and a brand, and they go back to the early 80s, and they get no respect or no credit, and they are essentially out of this, even if they go 10-2. Notre Dame's 10, Miami's 18. Miami beat them. And they are.
How about that difference?
No kidding. Look at that difference.
8 spots?
Who's Notre Dame's best win? I mean, they lost. They played 2 good opponents and lost.
It's going to be USC.
I mean, yes, they beat USC at home. Congratulations. There is a scenario here, though, where Notre Dame's in the playoff at 10-2, and it's going to happen, and they don't have a win over a ranked team because Pitt still plays Notre Dame and Miami, and they play, and USC will drop out because USC is going to take more losses, and they also have to go to Eugene.
That's right.
So they're not going to have a win over a ranked opponent when it's all said and done. But it's Notre Dame, so we got to put them in, and then they're pushing them up there to 10 already to make sure they're okay and they cover all their bases. It's bananas. And the other stuff, too, with Texas at 11. Come on now.
I had multiple people reach out to me last night and today, and ask me the question, based on the rankings last night, do we now need to load up on Texas futures? I can't get there.
No, they're losing, though.
That's what I think, too.
They still have to go to Georgia, and they have to play Texas A&M.
Sure.
They're not good.
No, I don't think they're a good football team.
No.
So I can't get there. If you want to, they're 30-1. I wish you the best of luck, but I can't grab anything to do with this team. And you're spot on with that. Are they going to beat both Georgia and A&M? That seems very unlikely to me, Pauly.
Yes.
And under that scenario, then, even with one more loss, are they in at 9-3?
No way.
I can't imagine.
Not with that SEC pecking order.
No.
Now, they might catch a break. I don't know. I think you said this on air. I can't remember if it was on air or off air. Oregon's in trouble here. Oregon better win. They go to Iowa, they have USC at home, and they go to Washington.
Sure.
They are number 6 in the AP poll, but they check in at number 9 in the committee rankings.
Well, because that win at Penn State.
That's right.
Not exactly aging very well.
And Booger was 100% wrong. Booger said Texas A&M has the best win in the country. No, they don't. It's Indiana. Because you look at the numbers, Oregon number 9, and not only did Indiana go there, they throttled them and pushed them around and dominated the game. So Indiana has the best win in the country. And I have no problem with 1, 2, and 3 because it's happened over and over and over again. When the defending champ is from the SEC and they don't have a great resume, they still keep them number 1.
Oh, I know.
Because of the defending champ. So the questions about why is A&M 3, for Booger to ask McElroy, who was Ohio State beat, and then he comes back, well, they beat Texas. Yeah, but that was early in the season. They're not playing better. They should have lost to Kentucky and Mississippi State. What the hell are you watching? Get him out of there. That's asinine. And he dismisses it. But they also went to Washington. Washington couldn't move the ball. They're ranked. Beat them 24-6, and they pounded Illinois. I mean, they're blowing everybody out.
For sure. Why? What's his point? I honestly don't. I did not listen to him last night.
He wanted A&M 1 and questioned why Ohio State's number 1. Again, if Ohio State was in the SEC, they wouldn't say a damn thing.
Right. It'd be a locked and loaded that they're going to be number 1 and nobody would debate that whatsoever. Here's a question. Do we need 12 teams?
Well, I thought 8 was a good number, but this is certainly a weird year where these are not good teams. When you get into the 10, 11, 12, 13. I love Utah. I love the program. I love the coach. Utah 13.
I know.
Who have they beat? I mean, they just blew out Cincinnati. Nice job. You played them at home. Cincinnati appears to be fugazi. But for Utah to be 13, I think that's outrageous, too.
I do like the fact that this year, 12 teams seems like it's going to be, oh boy, a big-time stretch. But overall, I like the idea of going to an expanded playoff. My biggest problem overall with college football, Pauly, and I can't hide it, I can't stand the conferences.
I agree with you.
I can't stand that Texas and Oklahoma went to the SEC, and the fact that they got rid of the Pac-12 absolutely guts me.
Yep. And UCLA Rutgers is a conference.
Correct.
Game. And it puts everyone behind an 8 ball with that schedule.
Yep. I want to go back to what we had. These super conferences suck. Period. Mm-hmm. And that's my biggest problem by a mile with college football today. Now, having said that, is there any number here on the board that looks attractive to you? Like Texas Tech in right now at number 8 with BYU looming this weekend, and they're a 10-point favorite. They have that awesome win against Utah already this year when they went to Salt Lake and pounded them. Texas Tech feels to me like a team that can be in the Final Four and potentially, depends on the draw, obviously, make the national title game. Yeah,
you could be right. But the Big 12's hoping this first meeting is close.
Yeah.
Tech wins, and BYU can get them in the rematch and get 2 teams in, which maybe that could work out for them anyways, with Utah sitting there at 13, and they figure to run the table and get in at 10-2.
By the way,
but that's a fair question. It could happen. But this is a big. You see what their power rating is, what they're laying against a good BYU team who's undefeated coming up.
So Brad Powers, he's going to be on our show next week, Professional Bettor, awesome on college football. He tweeted out his projected first-round spreads in these games. His numbers have Georgia 21 over Memphis. Texas Tech, Oregon would be a first-round matchup. Make some pick. I like Tech. I think Tech would beat Oregon. He has Ole Miss 17 over Virginia and Notre Dame 7 at BYU. And I saw another tweet from Josh Pate, college football, and he talked to the odds makers over at FanDuel. They actually made Notre Dame 9.5 against BYU. I would lay 7 with Notre Dame against BYU.
Yeah?
I would lay 7. Yeah, I think closer to 10 is probably the better number there.
How great would those atmospheres be on the campuses?
Do you know what BYU would be like?
Oh, my God, what a game. Right, what an atmosphere that would be.
Yeah.
No doubt. And then Hotty Toddy, and to play a playoff game at Lubbock as well. That'd be great.
That place would be on fire.
Be dynamite. Notre Dame at 10's egregious. It's outrageous. It's unfortunate. Texas at 11's a joke. Here's Brett McMurphy, America's college football insider, this morning on VSiN by the books with Dave Ross and Jensen Lewis about Texas at number 11.
But Texas, they can really shake up the rankings. They can beat Georgia and possibly damage their chances with help from Georgia Tech. And then they can knock Texas A&M out of the first-round bye. And it's funny, as poorly as Texas has played this year, and I think you guys would agree, somewhat surprised that they're at number 11. I guess you got to rank somebody, but they have not been impressive at all. They look good against Vanderbilt. They should have lost to Mississippi State and Kentucky. Oh, my God, how bad are those teams? And they lost to Florida. So – they have been the least impressive team in the top 12 right now. But the biggest thing is this is the first year in the 11-year history of the college football playoff rankings that the top 6 teams are all represented by only 2 conferences. So what does that mean? SEC, Big Ten bias? I'm not sure, but I think what that means is these teams may beat up on each other, and then how far are they going to shuffle teams down after losses? Another thing to keep in mind, in the past, they've done this. Teams that are that highly ranked, when they lose against another ranked team, they're not going to drop from 4 to 14. They may drop only from 4 to 6. And some people may be upset with that, but that's again, they view these teams over the entire season and not necessarily just simply what they did last week.
Well, the last part that he said, by the way, has always driven me nuts because that happened in one conference only.
Right.
When SEC teams, number 4, would lose at number 6, they would, or whatever, they would drop 3 spots in the rankings. Any other conference, they drop 10 spots. That drove me crazy. They got the benefit of the doubt every single time, every single year. Ever since, they switched from the BCS to the, when they went to the BCS and they had the 4-team playoff. And that made me puke. But overall, I mean, Texas's resume is hideous.
Yeah.
So some of the, when you go back and look at that game against Kentucky, they were awful against Kentucky.
Yep, right. They did reward them for the head-to-head, though. They have them ahead of Oklahoma.
Right.
But that's also where Mateer came back and he wasn't right. How will the committee look at that? But you're telling me if Oklahoma can go 9-3 with that schedule when you played 6 out of 6 ranked teams in 2 months, I would think 9-3 would be good enough. They go to Alabama and they have Missouri at home. Now it's LSU's nothing. They're closed with LSU. But that's an incredible schedule what Oklahoma has this year.
Sure. I'll give you another option for best win by any team this year, and they have no chance of making the playoff. How about Florida State, how they absolutely crushed Alabama? I get it. You're talking about teams here that are in the playoff right now, and A&M's win on the road against Notre Dame and comparing that to what Indiana did against Oregon as well. But Bama's been pretty damn awesome since that loss. Tonight's basketball card is coming up next. How about this? A team is 12-1 straight up, 11-2 ATS in this spot since last year. We'll give you the details next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Busy NBA card coming up tonight. 11 games on the slate, highlighted by the late game, Spurs playing at the Lakers. Lakers opened up a 3-point favorite overnight. Here at Circa, it's currently a pick. Reason why? Austin Reeves now ruled out within the last hour. So movement on this game. Lakers have been a crazy good story to begin the year. Obviously no LeBron. Luka's missed time, and yet here we are. What is Reeves, by the way, averaging like 31 and 9 assists on the year? Yeah.
Well, and then what Luka's doing.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Luka's right there with the incredible start. Luka's averaging 40, 41, 11, and 8.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
Yep. The Opta AI projections at vsin.com actually have him going under 32.5 points tonight.
I don't like it. Got to trade him. I don't see it. Can't give him all that money. He's averaging 41, 11, and 8.
Yeah, boy, he's just a little too chubby for me.
That I can't do it. I can't pay him the max. Trust the process, right?
Yep.
Great game. Wembanyama, 3's under, 1.5. It's unfortunate that Reeves is out with his props. We'll throw a ton of props at you coming up here, but a great game and a good test for San Antonio, also getting buried in Phoenix the other night as well. So bounce back here, but what the Lakers are doing in this roster, and maybe, I don't know how it's going to go for Ayton. This will be interesting to see what he does down low, if he can do any damage against Wembanyama, but certainly Wemby will want to put on a show in Los Angeles. And these Laker games have been high scoring as well.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because the total for a Lakers game here now is 227. I'll give you some numbers from Steve Mackin and VSiN.com. The Lakers, going back to last January, are 28-8 straight up and 27-9 ATS, playing at home in one-day rest games. They've been great in this spot. Also, teams playing in a third game in 4-day scenario, 43-18 under the total against teams in their fourth game in 10-plus days over the last 2 seasons. That criteria and that trend fits this game tonight between these two squads here in the game. I have not bet it. I really was staring. I asked around people last time, like, why is this 3? If Reeves might not play, and I did not take the Spurs, and I regret that now, obviously, with a little bit of what would have been CLV here in my pocket.
Okay, yep. How about the Kings game? Curry's out. Doesn't look good for Butler. It's a back-to-back for the Warriors, but Levine's out for the Kings.
Yeah.
Kings 2.5. I still think it can go over 223.5, although a lot of the games couldn't get there last night. But we've had crazy scores in the NBA thus far. But this one, I think with the way Sacramento plays, but this is tough from a side standpoint. without their, and Levine's been going over his props almost every game.
Yeah, so he's going to miss. Sabonis has also been ruled out because of his ribs. This thing to me again, I need to know more information before I would get involved here.
Well, if that's the case, I got to go Westbrook and DeRozan props then. If those guys are out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Westbrook's going to take his shots. You know that. That's coming.
Yes.
And DeRozan will have to be the guy, obviously, filling it up probably for the Kings then. So the Thunder are playing a back-to-back as well at the Blazers. And this number opened up 5. It has moved in the direction of Portland. I watched the entire game last night, and I get it. I know people on the East Coast are not happy with the new media deal. That game started at 11:10 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
That's late.
That's a new NBC deal. Yeah,
I feel your pain.
Yeah.
But the Clippers were awesome out of the gates, and Harden could not miss, and they led by 1 at halftime. And then after that, OKC turned it on. I am blown away how good this team is without J-Dub playing 1 single second of basketball this year. They're better than last year, and I'm here for anything that you want to throw at me with this team. 70 wins.
Here we go. All right.
Here's
last 3 games blowing everyone out, and SGA hasn't played a minute in the fourth quarter.
It's wild, man.
Yep.
Isaiah Joe had 22 last night and 6 threes. They got like 11 guys that can kill you on any given night.
Uh-huh.
I bet them today plus 225. You might be able to find better than that if you want to get involved to win the NBA Cup. I think DK had plus 240. Their group is a laughingstock.
Not bad.
Minnesota's the best team in the group by a mile.
Okay.
So they will probably run right through that group. Maybe Minnesota gets them once, but then they'll come back and make it anyway. And this is a team that made the finals of the Cup last year, and they lost. And I had to take that number because I think that to me, based on who they have in the group, the Thunder at plus 225 right now, that's going to look like, I think, the Dodgers 7-1 October 1st to win the World Series. Like, how in the hell were they 225 in that group to win it? So I had to bet a little bit of that.
Okay.
Do you have anything on the Wolves and Knicks game at all tonight?
Well, I just like that it's the team matching up with the trade. So I would think the guys that were traded for one another want to go off and have a big performance. So I would look at Randall and DiVincenzo. I see Cat's questionable, but this is a good matchup. But remember how DiVincenzo was ticked off and wanted to stick it to him. So I would look at DiVincenzo and Randall props. And again, Randall keeps his 6-1 to his over with his points prop, what he's done this year.
Yep. So the Wolves have some strong optimism that Ant is going to play in this game with his hammy. He's missed now a little bit of action. I will say this. There's something in the water, I think, when he plays at MSG. And his prop tonight for points, 25.5. Big number for a guy who's missed a little bit of time here. But if you go back and look, last year at the Garden, Edwards had 36 points, 13 rebounds, and he made 8 threes. He also hit 8 threes at the Garden in a preseason game a year ago. And the year before that, on New Year's Day, he had 35 at the Garden, and he also made 4 threes. Maybe there's something to it where he just is like, yeah, I go into bleep you mode playing in New York, so I want everybody to see how good I am here.
Oh, that's an angle, no doubt.
Right?
That's an angle. Yep. So you also have a lot of good games here with props. And the Denver game against Miami. And again, Miami is number 1 in pace this year. And the total's 240 against Denver with this new offense. Bam taking a lot of threes, over 1.5 threes. I don't mind that one. And the New Orleans and the Mavs, congratulations. The Pelicans won a game, but the Mavs are laying 8.5 now. And I get it. I understand. Megan Thee Stallion's wearing them out. Klay Thompson, every game he's gone under his points, 7-0. He's also gone under his threes as well. And he's also his PRA is 6-1 to the under. So he's only 10.5 points, 2.5 made threes.
Oh boy.
So his whole game, and that's incredible that he hasn't had one big performance yet. On the flip side, you got a guy like Oubre with the Sixers, who is 7-0 over his threes prop. And 7-1 over his PRA.
Geez, talk to me, Goose.
What he's doing.
He's undefeated over the made threes prop?
Yeah, that's
Did not
on the
realize that one.
Prop Analyzer, vsin.com. That's right. So you got that. Pritchard is 7-1 under threes.
Yeah.
White is 7-1 under for the Celtics. That surprised me. PRA, Jackson for Memphis, 8-0 under. George for Utah, 7-1 over. Clay under every game, as I mentioned. And rebounds, Cam Thomas, every game he's gone under. Castle for the Spurs has gone over every game. Bridges for the Knicks, 6-1 overrun. There's a lot of guys in the 6-1, 7-0 when you look at all these different categories, and it won't take you that long when you spit it out up there on the analyzer.
Very good. Yeah, at vsin.com. All those numbers are available every single day. Great to look at. I will point this out. For those people who live in Las Vegas, if you have signed up, I don't know like if they'll take bets, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But Boomer Sportsbook, they have a great number on Tyrese Maxey tonight to go over 3.5 threes. They got plus 112. He's like minus 115 at FanDuel and minus 115 at Bookmaker as well. Plus 115 on him, or 112 in that range, I think would absolutely be worth a bet. And a guy in that game tonight, and this is the spot that I was talking about, by the way, Pauly, Cleveland, since December of 2024, 12-1 straight up, 11-2 ATS, playing in the 2 days rest scenario. So when they get geared, now it's a big number tonight. Philadelphia's on a back-to-back, obviously. And this guy is questionable, but the guy that I bet tonight is Sam Merrill. I played over 2.5 even money earlier today at Boyd. That's our FanDuel out here in Las Vegas. From deep so far this year. Now, again, he's questionable. He's missed a few games here recently. But 5 of 10, 6 of 10, 4 of 9. And in the game that he got hurt, he played 18 minutes and he still took 6 threes and he made 3 of them. So 2.5, I played that at even money and put that up on the picks page at vsin.com.
Well, this is a AJ Green angle. Just betting Clay stuff under and Oubre stuff over until you lose. Because you can get hot. Look at what are you, 8-0 now with the AJ Green? 8-0
you bet him every game.
Points and threes. So keep going and everything. Now you're taking on New Orleans, who's god-awful defensively.
Sure.
But everything's gone under every game for Clay and Oubre here with the Sixers, going over almost every game in all the categories and the threes. Best time of year to be a sports bettor right now. No better time to join VSiN Pro, the Sports Equinox Special. Full VSiN Pro access through May 1st, only $120. Less than $20 a month. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The DraftKings and Circa splits, the AI prop projections, the 24/7 video and on-demand replays. Limited time offer won't last. Full coverage to May 1st, vsin.com/subscribe. The Sixers, brutal.
How'd they blow that game last night?
I don't know. I had them. That was unbelievable.
Oh, boy.
But I tell you, the Bulls are a great story, though. And Giddey, what Giddey's doing.
Did it again.
Couldn't make a shot in OKC.
I know.
Guy's dangerous.
Guy was so good. Maxey was unbelievable again last night. Up next, Jeff Sherman on the program, Westgate Superbook. A lot to get into with him. Loves the NBA as well. Pauly wanted him to make a number on the Cowboys to make an NFC title game in Jerry Jones' lifetime. He'll give it to us coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We were just talking NBA, a little bit of the Cup with OKC's number to win that title, plus 225 in that neighborhood. And Jeff Sherman loves his sport. He's been one of the leading odds makers on the NBA in Las Vegas for many, many years. He joins us now from the Westgate Superbook, and he's on the Progressive Guest Line. Jeff, good afternoon. Good to talk to you as always, buddy. Thanks for the time. So what did you do recently adjusting OKC's number overall to win the NBA Cup?
Well, I was sitting just over 2-1 at 9-4, and I went down to 2-1. I don't think they should be any higher than that based on their play. You know, they haven't had any NBA Cup games yet, like some teams have had, but they're in a very weak group, and their toughest competition, like we were talking about, the Timberwolves, but they get them at home in the setting. So it shouldn't be much of a problem for them to get out of that group unless they were to lose that game.
I think if they want to, we're talking 70-plus wins this year, if they really want to. And that means anything to them. I watched the entire game last night. When they turn it on, like they did in the second half, and they have all year, I mean, this team is an absolute machine, Jeff.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they've been doing all this without the good Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren in and out of the lineup. So when they're whole and complete and everything they can build off from last year, you know, it makes me feel like any bet that I've made for futures, a title or a conference, I'm wasting my money on.
Strong. That is strong. Where are you at with the Lakers' surprising start and how well the others are playing?
Yeah, I mean, I've lowered them down to 14-1 for the title, and you know that I watch them very closely, being a big fan of theirs. And the one thing I can say about them is I haven't seen a Laker team with this strong a chemistry in quite a long time. let alone any team. Their chemistry is off the charts, and J.J. Redick and his coaching staff are doing a tremendous job putting the guys that they have available in the right spots. The other night, Nick Smith. We've seen Jake LaRavia lately, but it's not missing some of the top players. They're still playing hard and well, and it's crazy. And when they get these guys back, the only thing that I have a question about is I see how much Luka and Reeves like playing together, all that. When they reintegrate LeBron into this, is that going to disrupt any kind of flow that they have?
Mm-hmm.
Good point. That's going to be tough to manage. I agree with that.
If he gets it to work, like right now, do you think it's worth a shot on this team to win the division, or is that just gone at this point?
No, I think the division is. I mean, they're 6-2 right now, getting by this time to add these guys back. And the Clippers look like, they could be faltering, and Kawhi out of the lineup last night, so they're not trustable. The one that's at the top is Golden State, but it's not like Golden State has a 5-game lead at this point, this early in the season. So, we can see, and you'll be able to find a price on the Lakers. Right now, I'm at plus 190 on them for the division, but they were just 3-1 just a few days ago. So, you could keep abreast on that and see how they go reintegrating LeBron in the lineup.
I'm with both of you on the OKC stuff. I got no problem with that. But I want to know where you're at with the Lakers' opponent here, because I am here for any conversation to be had on Wembanyama and what he can do this year, and can he take this team to the conference finals? Are you seeing MVP bets? And what are you seeing with the Spurs based on their great start and how Wemby has changed his game and he's going down low and banging?
Well, the MVP bets have been small because on opening night against Dallas, how well he played, he went from 12-1 to 4-1 off that one game. So it was a quick reaction that we had, and we didn't get overwhelmed with the bets. But I'm with you on this team. A few days into the season, I played them at 55-1 for the title and 30-1 for the West.
Ooh.
And they look like they're just behind on Oklahoma City with their development, being a young team with a lot of pieces in good spots with a strong leader in Wemby. And what I've been seeing out of him, man, is he going to be a tough guard when they get to the playoffs if they can get there. They need to get this through the season healthy, led by him. But they've been doing this without De'Aaron Fox, too, off to this good
Great
start.
Point.
So,
right. Yeah. Yes.
He's supposed to be back, I believe, Saturday. And, you add him into the mix, and Dylan Harper's now going to be out for a little bit, so they'll add him back in. But with Castle and Wemby doing what they're doing, and you got Barnes for being a veteran there, this team can grow over these 80 games and do well at the end of the season.
Jeff Sherman, our guest from the Westgate. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. Follow the money. Pauly and Mitch Veason, the Sports Betting Network. Jeff is not allowed to comment on the UFC situation. It's an ongoing investigation. You've been doing this a long time. You are sharp with the NBA. We had your colleague, we played the clip from John Murray, that your limits are $500 on props. And what were your thoughts on the FBI saying the sports books were the victims with what happened with Rozier and Porter and going back?
Well, first of all, the sportsbook can put themselves in any position they want with these type of wagers. Like you said, John mentioned, we take $500 on NBA player props. So it's so easy to see something that's out of the ordinary if it were to come across our way. Somebody that asked for $10,000 on something like that, we'd be like, okay, especially if they're asking for an under. One thing that we have, and this is just, nothing to do with that, but anytime that we look and we see unders, we're more aggressive moving them under anyway, because more sharps do play things under, but we're keen to look for that. And generally the public is betting over. So, it's not like somebody's coming up and asking for 10,000 on an over, but you start getting large requests on unders on things like that. It's an immediate red flag with the limits that we have in place.
Also, I mean, it should be a red flag, correct, when you see new accounts all of a sudden going nuts on something like this, or dormant accounts?
Well, first of all, like new accounts, it takes a while to build something up where you can get higher limits than starting out.
Right.
And dormant accounts, I mean, that's rare with us. That's not something that's, prevalent we see often anyway. There might be sometimes people take a hiatus, but it's nothing noticeable with that. But it is, if you're trying to see people getting down, like how much can I get and where are you moving the number? I was a ticket writer at the Imperial Palace in the 90s with the Arizona State scandal.
Oh.
And I remember when being approached by those guys, like, how much can I have and where are you moving the number? And when it's that type of thing, you're like, sure. So, I mean, there's things that make it so obvious that it's insane.
Wow. So they actually came over to you and your book at the IP all the way back then. How much, do you have any recollection of what they were trying to get down at the time?
I don't remember the dollar amount. I mean, we took such small limits back in the 90s on things like that, but I mean, it was much larger than we took back then. And it was just something, especially when they say, and where are you moving it to?
Mm-hmm.
So, just things like that are like, you just don't see part of your normal routine.
Great answers. Let's get hardcore. So Ed Sherman does a great job over there, but I got to be careful because he's an Eagle fan. But I asked him to give us the handicap this and give us a prop and what a number is. Give us the number on the odds that the Cowboys make an NFC title game in Jerry Jones' lifetime. It's 30-year drought. He's 83. Mitch was livid at the trades yesterday.
Well, the first thing that Ed did when he handicapped this, he's 83, and he's looked into life expectancies, and it says about another 6 years or so on average. So he tried to handicap it with 6 remaining NFL seasons for him, and he figured out on average they're going to be about 50-1 for the Super Bowl. And so he said it would come out mathematically about 7-1 for them winning a Super Bowl, 7-2 for them winning a conference. But then you have to throw out that something can happen sooner. It's less likely that he lives much longer, but rather sooner. So probably the 10 to 12 to 1 range over his remaining years, if you just look at it from that perspective.
Would you take that, Paul?
No.
You would not take 10 to 12 to 1 just to make the NFC title game?
No, I would not.
Good job by
you.
you.
I don't take it either, but you're talking about the math part of it. About after the season's over, when you hang a number, we're going to hang them to win the Super Bowl, and obviously it can't be higher than what they are for next season. So you start looking less than that and figuring it out from there.
By the way, prediction, I really think that your $5,000 Survivor contest next year is going to go up, I think, big time.
Yeah, I mean, we expect them all to go up, especially the college one.
Sure.
We thought there would have been more this year, but we think, given a year under its belt, that the college one probably has the most growth potential, especially because the entry fee is $500.
Yeah, no, and by the way, I have one entry left in the Westgate Survivor contest, and I absolutely hate this week. I hate this week.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
It is a tough one, and it depends on who you used earlier. So, I mean, to take out some of those big favorites, but I mean, with what we saw last week, we had our best week of the season last week, just because you had Green Bay losing as a 13-point favorite and Detroit losing as a 9-point favorite. You took those two out, and it was our best result for the season so far.
Very good. You can follow Jeff on X. He is at Gulf Odds over at the Westgate Superbook. Thanks, Jeff. We appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Thanks.
Great job. I'll ask Mitch coming up, but I'll ask the audience if you want any part of that. Let's say he lives to 90 years old. I mean, would you 10, 12 to 1? They haven't done it in 30 years.
Oh,
and the stupid trades they made? It's a gong show.
They're going the opposite way.
Yes.
They're supposed to be going this way.
And you got all that money to Dak and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
It's a great breakdown.
What number would you take?
Oh,
that was an excellent breakdown.
Yes. And he's lived hard. Johnny Walker, get after it. Yeah, just
Landman.
Sure, right. We're 10 days away, season 2.
All right. Win some, lose some is up next. There's an angle that is 5-26 since 2021 in action tonight.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Another question for the audience. New Jersey Tech played Fordham. The spread was 16 for the game. The first half was 4.5. What gives? New Jersey Tech didn't care. 16, 17-point dogs beat Fordham outright. Total control, led by 11 at the half. Plus 950 on the money line. One guy who covers the team says it's the worst half of basketball I've ever seen, and that's saying something for Fordham. I've covered a lot of games. How can you be 16 for the game and 4.5 in the first half? What's going on here in the world of sports betting?
Well, look at all these upsets coming in, by the way. You have more to rattle off right now, but it ties into opening night.
Tennessee Martin plus 7.5. Who needs
17.5?
Take your stinking points. They were 11-1 on the money line. They beat UNLV. UNLV had 23 turnovers, and Tennessee Martin shot 48 free throws. They were honoring members of the 1977 and 1990 championship team. Anderson Hunt was there.
Wow.
Put Lois Tarkanian on the court and lost to Tennessee Martin, laying 17.5. Also, a viewer sent an email on ftm@vsin.com. He saw 42. Boise was laying 42 against Hawaii Pacific. Their gym's at an adult daycare facility. And they lost.
A strip mall is where you can find the school.
Can't make
By
this
the way,
up.
but that checks out, right? They probably should be in that range against Hawaii Pacific.
Yes, it does. Yeah, D2 school, yes. San Diego State, 20 up to 25.5. Pounded Strong Beach. Oral Roberts, Oklahoma State over, 157.5 up to 166.5. Florida State from 18 up to 27. Ice cream. Magic Hawks under, 234 down to 229. College football, Akron from 10 up to 12.5. Blasted UMass. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. Thanks to Paul, Winky Dunk, Jonathan, Karen, everyone sending these in on a regular basis. I wanted to play this again. This is so good. This is Igloo. And, you can't fight with your body. That's not a fight you're going to win. And this is when Igloo just says, that's it for me. I've had enough. And it's time for bed. It's time to turn in. And he walks up and he's got his little ramp and he jumps on the bed. The ramp leads up to the bed and he just sits right in there in between the pillows. He's got his little bed, and he just says, "That's it." And as soon as it gets dark out, he knows. And we'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you in the morning.
I've had a rough day. Look at him, little Igloo. Look at Igloo, the little fella. Look at him. Just like that's it.
Oh yeah.
Like no one's telling him anything. This is his routine. They say. Igloo just goes the other way. I walk on my ramp, which leads right up to the bed, and I turn in.
Oh, he doesn't fight it.
No, I'm tired. I'm pooped. It's a long day.
I'm pooped. Yeah.
Look at Igloo.
I love the name Igloo, by the way.
It's good.
Good name. The next dog that we get, I already have the name picked out.
Yeah?
Bodie.
All right.
Point Break. Love that name from Point Break.
All right, excellent. I think we've shown this one before again, but a lot of people have been sending this in as well. I can't believe this. This is the dog that turns on the faucet and then drinks out of the faucet. Turns it on by himself, and then, okay, I'm parched. I'm thirsty. And then shuts it off by himself, and then the end is the best. Okay,
I know what he does here.
Yep, he's going to wipe his face on the towel. That's so good. There it is. Yep, bang. How you like that? Yep. Got to take care of your business there. That is awesome. Lose some, happened again. Now, they came back and won the game, but they trailed 2-0 at the end of one. The Dallas Stars, 9 games in a row without scoring a first-period goal. Incredible. Bad for the books. Purdue, 28.5 up to 33, fell 31. Kentucky over, 155.5 to 158.5, no good. Iowa under, 144 to 137.5. Warriors, Suns over, 231.5 up to 235.5, no good. And the bad beat, Sixers led by 20 at half in total control. And then they're giddy for giddy. Let them back. Sixers blow it. I don't know how. +1, no good. Bulls get the win. Horrible loss by Philadelphia.
You're not kidding.
Before the line moves, Sharp Place is already there. They don't just follow the market. They help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own. With the Sharp Plays, you don't have to. Unmatched transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting information, alerts directly from the pros. SharpPlays.com. Trusted by the pros and watched by the books. SharpPlays.com. Stay ahead of the line.
Let me give you an angle tonight in the National Hockey League. VSiN host Scott Seinberg. I like his website. It's betterday.com. And they send out like systems and trends. But how about this, Pauly? Teams on zero rest playing the next game in Toronto, right? So back-to-back for teams playing in Toronto. Since 2021, they are 5-26 straight up. Ooh. And I saw that Utah, they've been taking money, and the Maple Leafs are down to 145. I'm tempted to lay the puck line here, plus 165, but Utah's having a hell of a season, man. They're 9-4 overall.
There really needs to be a deep dive into what city has the best strip clubs. I think that's important too, not only on back-to-backs, but when you have a lot of free time.
Can I give you this?
As well, because I think that's very important.
I told you this yesterday. So a buddy of mine, he lives in the Pacific Northwest, and he's in Portland right now for business. And this goes back to the Blazers game the other day at home against the Lakers. And it was a back-to-back for Los Angeles. He claims, and he was on Portland in that game, and he got a good number. He got 3 before they went to 10, and they lost outright. He told me part of the handicap is here, Portland has unbelievable strip clubs.
I had no idea. I was floored by that.
Yeah, I've never been, so I couldn't tell you. But he's like, there's an angle where they got in late. They're staying like 4 or 5 blocks from where these gentlemen's clubs are at. Maybe they're there hanging out after they got in late from the Sunday night game, I think, that they played. I didn't harm them at all in that game. In fact, they had other guys playing out of their minds in that spot.
Yeah.
But, well, the Montreal angle, I mean, from what we've been told, Montreal is actually better than Las Vegas with the clubs.
Well, I find that hard to believe, but still, that would be something. And I know you get in a lot of trouble in San Francisco, too, with...
so what we've been told,
yeah. There's one club where all hell break loose. You
never know, by the way, where they might be good.
Yeah, but also it's what Kendrick Perkins said. You know, this is just Miami flu. It's also the nightclubs.
Right.
Like the nightclub scene. Like, hey, so what? They pay $1,000 for a bottle. That's no big deal. And
sure.
And you remember the Ja Morant video where he's making it rain and throwing it around and making it rain? Hell, that's a flood. That was a monsoon with that girl he was at. And that was some, weird-looking place. Like, what was it called? It's a weird name, Freddie B's or something. I don't know where he was at with that gentleman's club.
They never have weird names.
That's when he pulled the piece out. And then Harden's got his jersey retired.
That's true.
In Atlanta.
Lou Williams has the wings named after him.
That's right, Atlanta. There's another
Magic City, isn't it?
Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's also, you go to Miami, you go to Liver, whatever it may be. What was the name? Now I got to look it up.
And I think
Ja Morant had a weird name.
Every time that I have brought this up on the air, inevitably somebody's going to respond to me, like on email or Twitter, by the way, at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, Pauly Howard. They're going to say, yeah, been there. I know what you're talking about. The big strip club in Anchorage is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
It's
my cousin was a bouncer there.
I was blown away.
Yeah. Shotgun Willie's. Come on.
See?
Glendale, Colorado. Shotgun Willie's.
I told you they
raunchy, it says.
No, they never have weird names. I was right.
He had every inch of surface covered in cash. The whole room's full of money. It's a pile. You need a rake, a club insider said who saw the scene.
It's a hell of a quote.
You need a rake.
Need a rake to get all that money cleaned up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sure.
Okay, let me throw this at you. I saw that Caesars reposted, by the way, longest, will we have a 70-yard field goal this year? It's up and it's available.
They did?
Now it's 20. Again, it was 25-1 late August, early September before the season started.
Will someone make a 70-yarder?
Yep.
What is it?
4-1.
Okay.
But
DraftKings has over 68.5, 3-1. That's in my column today up at vsin.com. Bad news with Fairbairn. Tough beat.
Oh, how bad does that suck?
Yeah, I know. I still play. It's Matthew Wright now taking over. Guy made 5 field goals. What do you mean he's hurt?
He's kicking too much. You got to score more touchdowns to help the guy out.
Well, look offshore. Offshore, there's one book that says 6-1. 6-1 over 68.5.
6. Okay.
I saw that today.
And another book said like they made the longest field goal for the rest of the year. They made it 66.5 for the rest of the year.
Okay.
There's also the Rams signed Harrison Mavis, a.k.a. the thicker kicker.
I can't believe it.
He's 6 foot, 242 pounds, 20 of 21 on field goals for Birmingham in the UFL.
Wow. He gets a workout with the knife and fork.
Well, I was going to say,
kid. Look at the front porch.
He's got a tire around his stomach.
Sure he does. How about that?
He doesn't even. How does he get into the jersey?
No.
That jersey's like 4 sizes too small for him. The great Sal Paolantonio on the program coming up next. He'll tell you how the Bills beat the Chiefs and says the answer will surprise us. I can't wait to hear next on VSiN.